Just joining now from twitch.tv/maniac4bricks, I am building 3 LEGO Star Wars buildable figures. I received one from a giveaway from BZ Power, the one here in the middle that doesn't have the box with it. Totally fine. It's got all the parts nonetheless and the instructions. I had one from a giveaway, and then there are 2 that have been sitting in my backlog for a long time that I've always wanted to just build them and try them out and try them with other ones at the same time. So other than the 2 I have here that I got a long time ago on clearance, I think from Barnes & Noble or something, we've got one in the middle. So yeah, all good. I got Boba Fett here already just because he was already built. I thought it would be fun for the video, which will go out sometime later. And some of you may actually be watching from that video because I reference it in there. Anywho, I do have other ones outside of these, like in the first wave or so of buildable figures that Star Wars came out with. I got Luke Skywalker, I got the original Darth Vader, not the second version of him. I think I have Jango Fett. I think he's complete. So that pairs up pretty nicely with Boba Fett. And sometime later I'll do a video that will be related to all of these buildable figures, and I'll have a lot more to say about them there. I think I have done a review on 1 or 2 of them before. I do not have all of them. There are some that I just did not have interest in and didn't pick up at any point. I don't feel bad missing some of them. Boba Fett was the only one I really missed getting in stores, and it kind of just flew off the shelves and onto eBay, and I think I paid about $30 for him. That was not fun. But I still have the box and all the other stuff with him, so it was, sealed copy. So, let's move on. We're going to start things out because we have a special gift here from BZ Power. They hosted a live stream and had a whole bunch of buildable figures as giveaways. I didn't really care which one. I thought it would be fun just to let fate decide what I would win if I won. And I did. So, I got here the First Order TIE Fighter 75526. It's not that I didn't. I'm trying to think, like, I maybe haven't given this one enough credit looking at it before, but this actually looks kind of cool. So, let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with this one. You also see Sergeant Jyn Erso on the back wall. And peeking around the corner is a First Order Stormtrooper. The only one I can think right off the top of my head that I would like to get, and I'm sure I will at some point, is the regular, like, original trilogy Imperial Stormtrooper. Because that one looked cool. And I think, if I remember correctly, it was either that one or something else, or it might have been a Sand Trooper or something, another class of Stormtrooper that I thought, oh, that'd be cool to get too. Again, whenever that happens, that's totally fine. A lot of clinking, clanking from the pieces. Start things out, no problemo. We got those bags out of the way, and it's got its own little bag. I always call these mold bags, but for like very specialized pieces. But I don't know if that's always the case. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just because there are certain fragilities of parts, like this piece. I don't want that to be rolling around and getting yanked in the packaging. It is very slick, very neat. So, let's get things going. I've actually done some backlog outside of live streams. Shocker. Not too much, though. It was only like 2 or 3 sets that I can remember recently that I did. One of them was a Bionicle Set. For those who are Bionicle fans, you'll recognize the set right away. Lesovic. It's a green 2007 set that I've wanted for a long time. I've found it. And it was only missing 1 or 2 parts, which aren't bad because I can replace them, but there was one of the parts that I think is either broken or about to break, let alone all the lime joints. So that's maybe not the best thing, but I'm very careful with him, handling him. He's actually able to fit back into the box assembled, which I found impressive. And the submarine scooter thing that he has with him, that's actually really cool. I was afraid that might not be the case, and that was actually fun to learn, because the box Bionicle sets, 9 times out of 10, you need to break them up in order to store them away. I'm only really storing him, like, it was fun to build him, don't get me wrong, and I love the scooter. I thought that was really compact and really resourceful for Technic parts without being too complicated. But I'm keeping him away for right now just to fit in with the other Bionicle sets and at least take a little bit more out of the backlog. Right now, the backlog is at a point where it used to fit on 2 shelves, almost 3 shelves. Now it's closer to 2 shelves, maybe 1.5 or so, depending on the arrangement. So it's getting pretty good. I'm not, crazily building too much, but there's also a bunch of stuff I've gotten more recently that's like entered the backlog and then taken out of the backlog at the same time. So that's good, and it hasn't grown drastically and sat drastically for a long time. The other set that I've built recently, I don't remember the number of the Landspeeder set, but the other set that I built recently was 8969 from LEGO Agents. This was from 2009. The theme started in 2008, but this was a 2009 release, and I really dig this thing. I thought it was actually, maybe not that special at the time, but looking at it now, it was like, okay, there's actually more to this that I didn't expect, so I actually do like it. It's not my favorite Agent set, but it was still better than I thought it would be. It basically has one part that's a helicopter, kind of standard. A little unconventional once or twice, but kind of the thing I expect. Like, okay, a helicopter's a helicopter. LEGO loves their helicopters, right? So, the other part of it was a giant buggy, and this has suspension that basically works along the axles on the front wheels and the hind wheels. So it's not every single wheel has its own working suspension. It's kind of like working with each pair of wheels, which is still pretty cool. It has a part in the back that opens up. It has some flick fire missiles. I kind of expected that because I've had other Agent sets that did a similar thing, and it's also advertised in the box. It's not too bad there. I do also have the box for it too. That's cool. And it had a couple other functions I was kind of surprised by. So it also has this this built on the side about like a barricade you can run through. That's kind of, again, kind of expected. I already knew that going into the set, but still a neat little addition. Didn't have to be there, but it's still nice to have. But for the vehicle itself, it has the front that opens up, which I never knew before. The front of it opens up so that it can hold more weapons and has a little print, well, not print, a stickered computer piece. So that was actually pretty cool. I afterwards I looked at the back of the box and realized that was shown on there as a play feature. It just wasn't shown on the front, and I didn't really know. Like I don't remember seeing it in stores. I've only seen it like mostly through the catalog, so I didn't know what to expect there. But hey, that's totally fine by me. So that was fun to learn, and it was still a neat build. It seemed pretty sturdy. I'll review all the Agent stuff sometime later. Again, that one will be taken apart shortly after in order to compact with other sets in the same theme. All the Agent sets except for 2 of them that I own have been taken apart and fit within 2 boxes, which is incredible because it makes it a lot easier of trying to find them in storage. Titanium J, welcome to the stream, man. How you doing? So we're doing some buildable figure stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna make this one dab. If if the other streams we've seen in the past is to believe. But yeah, this current one is being built from BZ Power. They had a Batmobile building live stream on Twitch, so that's how I got this here. It was they had a giveaway with that. And I thought, you know what, in homage, I'm going to do a Twitch live stream for those who like to see it. Yeah, I'm doing well. Ooh, hello, mister. I don't think I've seen that torso piece before. It's in the other one, the Stormtrooper behind me. Yeah, I'm doing well. A lot of running around back and forth stuff, but getting things done, still being productive, which is good. In the wake of the the haunted house set, I've been more inspired to go back into adventurers. I've always wanted to, from what I have and from what I'd like to get, and now I've been, you know, picking up more of them or just putting them out for, you know, some new videos soon. So I'm happy with that, and they're fun. They were fun back in the day, and they're still fun now. And there's some that I've picked up like a long time ago, but I still enjoy them. So yeah, going good here. But yeah, beyond that, I'm still, you know, staying safe and everything like that. Um, Other things around, I've been trying to clean up at home. Today I did a whole bunch with the car and a bit of the garage, trying to consolidate. So yeah, it's going well. A little bit every day counts, and that's what I'm aiming for. Not to be like lazy about it, like a little bit, as opposed to spending the whole day on it. But I know I'm gonna overwhelm myself if I go the other way. So okay, so we got this belt that comes around here. It's a lot of black. I'm surprised, because that's like an un-Lego thing to do. That they would use a primary color for literally every piece. There was an entire bag when I opened this up that was all black pieces. You know, like even a Batman set, you know, is going to have some red, some orange, some yellow inside of the Batmobile just to make it easier to build it. The closest color we have here is red. And that kind of fits because it's a first order figure. So that's actually pretty good for its own merit. What have you been up to? What's new in the I don't know. I haven't seen lately if you've uploaded anything or had a stream or anything. I apologize if I've missed it. Okay then. I don't remember exactly what the forced what the Forrest Gump for order troopers, what the first order pilots look like, if that's okay. Like, it seems like it's working around, not printing on that giant chess piece, but I don't know for sure. Right, I don't have the box, I forgot. And I don't have, it doesn't show anything on the instruction manual of the figure around, so I don't know what that's about. Not much, just finished my spring semester of college. Awesome! Hope you did well. But yeah, that's right, it's about midway through May. So yeah, everybody's out of classes now, or getting close to out of classes. So that's got to be a relief. I was afraid something was gonna break. Don't want that. There we go. Okay, these are the same print on both sides, or on both pieces. It doesn't matter which one. I haven't uploaded that much recently. Hopefully that'll change soon. I mean, yeah, that's fair, because it's good that you're sticking with school stuff, but now, welcome back to the fold. Welcome back to the community to get more stuff going. Oh, did I use the wrong ones? Wait. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Actually, this is less of a color problem, them all being the same color. More just a shape problem. Because this piece, rather short. This piece, a little longer. I should have actually looked in the back of them, because in the instructions they actually do specify which number it is, but they don't tell you always that that number is on the back of the piece. I remember that now, but I forget that when building. So, I don't know what that makes me. I've been kicking it up a notch a little bit on trying to make videos and keeping up with stuff, trying to be a little productive. like always around, at home with YouTube. Still got a few part-time jobs here and there, things to help out with, and being safe all the while. Okay. So now we just got parts for the blaster. I'm trying to think, like, if there would be a way to, if they're gonna attach this onto the side of him so that way he could walk with it holstered. Ooh. Oh, too far. Too far. There we go. And now we build something else in there. At some point later, I'll get together all of the Star Wars Buildable figures I have. I don't have all of them, contrary to popular belief. There's a whole bunch that I actually didn't have interest in, or just didn't look at enough. So, going with the main ones that I know that I would like, character-wise, usually. Let me think. I have Luke. I have first edition Darth Vader. I have Darth Maul. I have I don't think I have a Stormtrooper. Probably not. I have Jango Fett. I have Boba Fett. Let's see. What else is there? I feel like I have another. I'm not sure if I have a Rey or a Kylo Ren. And if I don't, I'll probably work on that at some point. The titanium, you have Cody, Jango, Death Trooper, and Grievous. Grievous is one I was always bouncing back and forth on, and I thought that he was on sale at one point, but it turns out Target just mislabeled him, and they didn't change the price. It's like, what are you doing? I think there were 2 of them that I found in a Target store with a clearance sticker on them with 2 different clearance prices. And neither one of them, it's either, I forget exactly what the case was, if it was neither one was valid or only one was valid and it wasn't a great discount. I forget. But either way, I walked out without a Grievous at the time. So, there we go. I keep thinking like, oh. Oh, that actually scared me. I was like, I should be able to pull it back and it'll fire. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. That is great. Well, that's it. I don't know how to save clips on Twitch, but I think that one is worth it. That was totally worth it. Oh, man. That was good. All right, so so we can stick the other bolt on there. Sweet. Forgot that. I don't have Obi-Wan. I don't think I have the Imperial Stormtroopers or Sand Trooper. I forget which ones that were available, but I remembered I wanted to get one of them. Okay, so I don't have anyone that's on here. I didn't really care for the Praetorian Guard enough to get a figure for it. Chewie's okay. It's definitely good for parts, but I don't know. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. Like, it feels like it needs to be a little beefier or more texture or something around the sides of it. Like, it feels too clean. Especially for being, like, a more creature-oriented character than a lot of these that have suits or robots or, you know, more armor or something on them. Chewie just sticks out like a sore thumb to me. I think I got Grievous at Christmas present. I don't know. It was a few years ago. Oh, not bad. It's a good way to do it. I don't think I got any of them for Christmas. I think I always bought them, or in this case, won them in a giveaway. I'm still not sure if I would get the 2nd edition Darth Vader after the first one. Like, is it... I'd have to look at other people's reviews and see if that was actually a better make of him. It seems like it cleaned up some areas, but I don't know for sure, like, build-wise, what was better. I'm going to leave the decision up to you, Titanium J, while you're here. Which one I should build next, Jyn Erso or First Order Stormtrooper? Them both in frame right now. I wish I had my laptop on me. I could look up what buildable figures I have. I don't have K2SO. I kind of like that he had different functions to him and was, like, unconventional in a good way. Because he's a robot. It's like, okay, that makes sense. I'm surprised they never made a C-3PO. Even if they did, like, a pearl gold or something, you know? Alright. Stormtrooper it is. And I don't have anything to open this with. Whoops, my bad. I'm gonna just nonchalantly move this off to the side and find something around. Oh, yeah, I gotta put those together. I keep finding, everywhere I go today, I've been finding batches of Lego keychains. I've mentioned it throughout 2019. I was gonna make a video about my Lego keychain collection, and then I got more of them, and then some got misplaced or, off to the side or something like that. And now I'm kind of scared to do the video on it because it's actually amounting to a lot. Okay. Looking at the bottom of this box of the Stormtrooper, this was in the Force Awakens wave of figures. I don't think I have Kylo. I have that version of Rey, I think. I'm not sure. Because there's two Reys that were released, and there is, like, the one from the first movie, which just has more of the Jakku outfit. I think I have that one. Oh, bubbity bubs. Why did I do that? I forgot. I meant to open it from the bottom. Or, I was thinking, like, instinctively, to open this from the bottom. But I really meant to open it from the top, because I realize every time that I open these figures, I'm opening them from the bottom, and then how do you put them away? You can't put them away like this, you have to put them away upside down. Otherwise everything will fall out. Ezra Nightshade, welcome to the stream, man. How you doing? We're getting some buildable figure action going on, and I already surprised myself using this one. Like, I've had them before, but I didn't press the button enough, and it just almost hit me in the face on the rebound. C-3PO would have been cool. I think the problem is that he isn't a warrior, so he wouldn't be able to battle anyone. That is true. That would be a problem with that figure. I think there wasn't even a lot of Jedi, right? A lot of them were mostly pushing the blaster mechanic. Even, like Han Solo. Even ones... Actually, no. It's like they either had this functional blaster or they just had, like, a fake one or something off to the side. So, oh, that's cool to see. Dude, it feels like that just happened. This was 5 years ago. Wow. That's crazy. I feel like I just watched the Force Awakens for the first time. This says copyright 2016. Yeah, so about 4 years ago. Alright, crinkle time. Can't mute the mic, so you'll have to mute your volume. You don't want all that crinkle in your face, in your eardrums. There we go. Not too bad. Just put the baby down for bed. And yeah, the launchers is crazy. I have that trooper on my shelf. Sweet. Yeah, I haven't, I think I picked this one up on clearance or something. Jyn Erso I definitely picked up on clearance at Barnes & Noble. I remember that. And the First Order Stormtrooper might have also been there. Darth Maul I remember being there to some discount. Totally fine. The only Jedi were Kenobi, Luke, and Rey. I mean, it's not a bad selection, but I feel like it could have had more. It probably would have interested people more. And at first I was thinking there was another one, but I'm like, oh wait, Finn isn't a Jedi. He came with a lightsaber in his set though, just because of a few scenes where he was wielding it, but not necessarily a Jedi. But I think it probably would have helped if they leaned a little bit more towards original trilogy stuff. I mean, I totally get that, you know, at the time of its release, you got to do a lot of the new stuff, you know? Promote that because it's going to need it. But in the same way, it's like, well, people do like the old stuff too. We should have had Qui-Gon to fight Maul. Yes, exactly. And Grievous also being another example of one with a lightsaber, but not a Jedi. Those matchups would have been great, and they already did that with Obi-Wan and Grievous, with Luke and Vader. They had like a Toys R Us exclusive, I think, where you buy both of them in the same set, and you get a free poster, and obviously a bigger box, which honestly is pretty neat. I didn't get them at that point. I think the only ones I found were the individual ones, but still a great idea, and definitely encourages like getting multiples of them versus getting only one. So just like you said, yeah, if we had a Qui-Gon to go with Maul, that would be great. They did for a while. Perhaps Anakin and Dooku as well. Anakin and Dooku, maybe. I'm trying to think if Yoda and Dooku would be a better pair. Because I don't think it would be... I don't know if it would work as well for, like, Episode 2 Anakin versus 3. Like, if I was going to pick one of them, I'd probably go with Revenge of the Sith, personally. And it felt more like, in Episode 2, it was more of Yoda's battle with Dooku than Anakin's. Even though he still had a good part to play in it. That's what sticks out of my mind more. I haven't seen Episode 2 in a while, but that's what I think. And I'm also in that way, I'm trying to imagine Yoda as a buildable figure. Like, crazy big headpiece, first of all. Especially when it comes to the ears. I don't even... Like, would they make them flexible? I don't know if that would work that well with something like this. Or if they just make it, like, hard plastic. Maybe it'd be flexible. Just like on the minifig head. Fall Collector, welcome to the stream, man. How you doing? We're on to our second figure building today. We've got the First Order Stormtrooper. And we're talking about potential buildable figures that could have been released with Star Wars. Lego has a weird convention when it comes to the CCBS, Creature Character Building System. It's like they use it, but they don't. They have a very universal idea and design for it, and there are ways that it can be used, you know, for different themes, or even in the same theme, different ways. But on the opposite end, they don't make a lot of figures or make them unique enough to really show, you know, like share that. Doesn't really make it clear, like, oh, this is encouraging more things to build with this. It just kind of does the same thing every time. Like, so far in this figure, it's got a lot of parallels to the one before it. And probably many before that. They all have the same feet. You know, like, if it's a creature character building system, why are they all built as humans? Why are they all humanoid? We should have one that's more extravagant. That's why Grievous is a great choice, because he has more features to him. It's creature character, you know, for a reason. Alright, Titanium J, good to have you here, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Battle Droid would have been nice. Yes! Even, like, either one. Like a standard battle droid, and a like super battle droid. Super battle droid, I don't know how well that would work. Like, yeah, you could still have ball joints, but I'm thinking back to when Lego last made it in a Technic-ish form, and they had it with like a gear on the back of its body, which I guess it could work still. They did have a gearbox system with these as well. To raise the arm up to a certain point in order to fire. You know, felt very robotic, which was cool. Yeah, it's like I low-key actually like these figures, even though I got most of the enjoyment out of them after the fact. I think I did try to get the second edition Vader at one point, but by then it was like either retired or sold out or something. Like, there was just no chance of finding it. Different molded parts. Yeah, that's true. I mean, a battle droid would work pretty well for, multiple, picking up multiples of them. And by maybe one or two pieces, you could identify them as a security battle droid or a pilot battle droid or something like that. Just something that attaches stud-wise or pin or something on the head. Because there wasn't much difference between them other than that, if I remember correctly. I was just about to say something. I forgot what it was. Something else Star Wars related. I'm not sure. And it's fine. You didn't lose my train of thought. I do that on my own. Are we working on the blaster now? This might be the blaster. Because this was a pretty straightforward build compared to the pilot, which had all the like belt, oxygen, stuff built around him on the torso. I forgot what I was going to say before. A Geonosian battle droid would be cool. If they already did well with like a standard battle droid, they could break into a Geon. Well, would they? I don't know. Because that color. Well, I should say either of the colors, because I'm thinking of both times when they've made Geonosian battle droids, and they're two different colors. That color of both colors of battle droid, I don't think have been made before in CCBS parts, or at least not that many of them I can think of. See, he's got a blaster on a holster, just a little backup pistol. It's cool. What about a destroyer droid that can close and roll? That would be complicated, but it probably could work. I would think it's kind of hard trying to best the one from Technic that they first made. I don't remember if they made it more than once, but I know they made at least like the first run of Technic buildable Star Wars figures was really cool. And I've never built it myself, so I don't know that experience of it, but like just by design and by function, I've seen that roll out before, and it's it's so cool. Doing that in CCBS would be not impossible, but I'm not sure how it'll be pulled off, personally. But it's a good idea. Oh, what I was gonna say before, I also like that they made the speeder bike, and I missed out on that one. I easily should have gotten that, and I've seen it more than once on clearance. I should have picked that one up for an original trilogy character and vehicle. That's something else that they didn't do that much with them is vehicles. Any sort of thing to tie in with them. Here's be a great example of what they could have done. Anakin from episode 2 with a speeder bike. Now, hear me out. It is pretty much the same thing as what I just said. The with the biker scout in Endor, but the difference is difference of color. I think there's some difference of shape with it too. Like they're not exactly the same bike. They just, operate similarly. That would work great. I don't know if they would. I'm trying to think, like, if it did well enough, would they go to the point of, like, Rebels or Resistance or the other, like, non-movie versions of characters? Like, and I definitely fall under the consensus that a lot of people have with these figures. They look best when they're not showing human faces. When it's a helmet like this, it's sculpted very well. It's got a lot of neat printing. Look at the little ventilation in there. That's so cool. Little signatures and everything. But when they have a human face, it's not always the best. I almost wanted to bring out one of the Galador figures, but I don't have them right here. They're sitting downstairs. Sort of case in point. Well, we have Jyn Erso coming up next real soon, so that might help with it. Speeder bike is nice. Yeah. Right? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm not going to scare myself this time. When I used it on the other figure, I didn't push hard enough, and then I nearly blasted myself in the face. Like, it bounced off the wall, and worked from there. Let's see if I can blast it against him. Who's a traitor now? I don't even have a head. Because it shows it adding it onto him on the wrong hand, of course. I put on the wrong hand. So this one's a righty. How about that? There we go. Now I got a head on him. Alright. Not even phased. Ooh, phased clone troopers? I mean, they made a Commander Cody, which is good on its own, but like a standard clone trooper would be great. Again, something that people could buy multiples of and prop together and make some modifications to, certain ranks, certain blasters. That honestly could work. Maybe even if you went a little further with it, could make artillery for them. Like a little mount or something to to position them behind. I forget what the word is now. Turret. That's what I'm thinking of. Turret. I think that could work. So it does stick out a bit from his torso, but kind of works. A shame that doesn't really line up. I mean, he always has to hold it. And they're almost the same size, almost the same make even. But yeah. He's got a battle rifle he can add onto his shoulder. Or onto his upper leg. Not bad. Yes, they're pretty cool. As somebody who's a little bit partial to CCBS and Bionicle and Hero Factory and all that stuff, this is how it goes. Human head doesn't look very good in my opinion compared to Stormtrooper or Grievous. Agreed. Yep. Let's see, we got a couple on the back. Yeah, I can't remember if I have this version of Rey. I don't think I have Kylo Ren. And I'm pretty sure I don't have Finn. But even so, I don't think I have Poe Dameron. Yeah, I think on this page, the only one I have that I know for sure is in front of me is the First Order Stormtrooper. Maybe Rey. I can't remember though. I don't think I have Phasma. I wanted to like Phasma. I like the idea of a supreme, a captain, Stormtrooper and she had a great thing going, but was sorely underused in just about every movie. I mean, definitely the first two. Oh, this one's going out there being tricky. Doesn't have tape, so I can't open it from the top without just destroying the package. And I gotta open it from the bottom. Yeah, I don't have either of these two guys either. The pilot or the K2SO. Yeah, a lot of these have this problem. It's like the brickheads, where if you want to display them with the boxes, you may have the issue of the box folding up on itself and not properly standing, because it's, you've ripped the seals on it. or just fitting them back into the box and keeping that upright, most of my brick heads sitting on the shelf next to me are sitting upside down because of that. So if there's one with tape, I tried opening it up like the other way. And there we go. Oh, this one... Does this one have more pieces? Feels like it. 104 versus 81. Wow, okay. Getting a little more involved build here. Even though the figure looks about the same. Oh, they got a gearbox. That's why. And not even in the right frame. But that's cool. Okay then. Let's get to it. I'm actually happy that they're not all exactly the same, that there are some with gearboxes. There's K2SO, I think, has some sort of like punching mechanism, where it's like a button on the back that it presses one arm or the other like a Rock'em Sock'em robot, as he is. Crinkles away. Crinkle number 2. Before I continue. And crinkle number 3. Oh, wait. We missed one. Jyn Erso's head in a bag. In any other context, this would be creepy. Get back here. All right. So there we go. Nope, wait. Okay, we got the torso piece. I didn't see it at first. I was like, wait, is it here? Wasn't. Most of the other ones are separate or almost separate from their bag. I've actually seen people building with CCBS into Bionicle MOCs, which I thought was impressive. There was a torso piece kind of like this one. It has like this T shape on the top of it, but much longer, kind of like these. And at the bottom, it would have a swivel piece for the hips. And they were able to integrate that particular specific thing into a MOC pretty well. And they had the whole T section here actually follow as like the shoulders can move up and down, and it would basically rest on these as its lowest position. That was smart. I imagine sellers parting out Jyn Erso parts and having bags of Jyn Erso heads. Probably, yeah. I could see that. I can't even imagine like how sellers even go into this. They're probably like retail stores where they're a bit questionable at first how well they're sell, and only take them in when they're on clearance or something. You know, that kind of mentality. It's like, okay, it's not going to be a lot for me to flip this around, but I don't expect it to be a smash hit. There's going to be 1 or 2 people who are probably going to swipe this up for parts. And that's true. I've definitely seen people that part this out just to have extra parts available. Like I said, for Bionicle builders, you know, it's good for certain things recolored or certain other parts available in ways that may have been hard to find. So, yeah. I don't think I have any extra parts from any of these that are just, you know, sitting. Actually, maybe a few. A few that I got from a random lot of Bionicle parts. They included in there some of, what do you call it? Jango Fett. So that is true. I do have like a helmet. I have maybe like a chest piece, maybe like an armor piece, but I could still figure something out how to use that. This is actually a bit difficult. These do not want to go in place. it's 3 pins trying to attach into here at the same time. I feel like I'm about to like hit my hand, and that's gonna snap in place, and then I'm just gonna like, you know, pinch a nerve or something. Luckily I didn't, but those are probably gonna stay in for a bit. I just don't want to take them back out. And luckily with a lot of these figures, they do fit back in the box, assembled, which is something I've always loved from Brickheads, from Bionicle, from Hero Factory. 9 times out of 10, you can fit them back in with minimal disassembly. So, Fall Collector, how's your evening going? Or what time in the world you are? Ooh, that is. I feel like I've seen that piece before, but that's still new enough to be interesting to me. Wow. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. All right. But yeah, don't worry. I'm still listening. Um, what's going on in your neck of the woods? I think at some point I'm gonna put all of these Star Wars buildable figures with Hero Factory, with Ben 10, with Bionicle in one big section. Like when I have it, like as I've been sorting things out at home between Lego themes, I've been trying to group together similar things. And this is a strategy I've done for a long time. But now just have to completely redo stuff. It's either been built before or just more added onto them and need like another container to fit them in. But this is something for a long time that I've done where I try to group together similar themes. Like, why does Aqua Raiders and Atlantis have to be in 2 separate boxes unless they're just massively, collected themes? If there's a box big enough to hold both of them, why not? I could use them interchangeably. So something like this would happen. I would bring Hero Factory and Bionicle sets together, segmented enough where I can still tell what's where, but they're still in the same Tupperware. Like it's just in one or the one next to it or something. It makes it easier to find them. It's like if I'm gonna look for these kinds of figures, they're probably just gonna be together. That's just easiest way to do it. Or even like when I get them in lots from other people, they do the same thing. They'll just group together. Oh, these are all Bionicle in the umbrella category. Not Nexo Knights. Knights Kingdom buildable figures are the same way. We got ourselves a new piece here, specially printed. I don't even know if they use this outside of this figure. Very unique piece. But Matt lines up with everything. That is one thing I do like. They do have some pieces that really, maybe because they're specialized, but they really do line up with each other very well. Cleaning my Lego room at the moment, staying quarantined, 7:16 here. I took off my watch, so I don't remember what time it is. I got 9:17. So, 2 hours ahead. Okay. Yeah, because I'm on the East Coast. All good? No problem. But hey, as I was saying before, a little bit goes a long way. I actually have some stuff between Bionicle and Hero Factory that are in bins. That part's organized. A couple other sets here and there floating around, especially when they're box sets. I don't know where to put them. So it's like, oh, if I have the boxes, I kind of want to keep them, and maybe I could fit another set with them. But then there are definitely sets where there's just no room. Like especially with a lot of Bionicle Hero Factory sets, and they have canisters. A lot of buildable figures have canisters, even more so than these. To squeeze all of those in is a bit of a pain. And there are definitely some figures that I'd like to get canisters, but I also have to realize that means they're gonna fit less per Tupperware. So a little give and take here. I'll figure it out eventually. But one thing I'd like to do with all of them is put them all in one specific closet. And that's something I've kind of done over time, but a bunch of them have moved around. There's some in the bedroom closet here, and then there's some in the basement closet, and I need to try to get those all together. So that way, if I need to find them, I only have one place to go to. That would be very, very helpful. I'm hoping for similar things like that when it comes to other LEGO themes. Everything that's, remotely grouped together will be, will be easy to find. They're all in the same area. I've put Jack Stone, City, World City, Town Junior, and Town together. However else you segment those, like Arctic or construction or demolition, whatever. Jungle, those things are all in the same, or they should be in the same area. A bunch of them actually aren't right now, which is what I need to work on. But now I'm at a point with the backlog that I'm actually, it's like the backlog is reversed. It used to be 1 to 2 shelves entirely based on unbuilt, sealed LEGO sets. Actually, some of them sealed, some of them not sealed, but still, unbuilt LEGO sets. And now it's at a point where I could actually fit some of those LEGO themes on that shelf, which is amazing. It feels great to break them, to have it break down in a way where it's like, okay, now this is a storage place, and I can compact them better than when I found them. And I some of them I've thrown labels on the boxes if they're just plain cardboard boxes. I just throw a label on them to say what's in there, like, oh, this box has Incredibles and Powerpuff Girls and something else. It's like 4 themes in the same box because they're all really short. I have a sealed value pack set from the mid-90s. Not sure exactly what year, and don't know if I should keep them sealed, sell them, or build them. It depends. I think most times they are valuable together, more valuable together than apart. And I don't know which ones you're referring to, because there are definitely some that are better than others. And that's just not me saying it, but I just mean, like, some of the old value packs were literally like, oh, this is a LEGO set that we just kind of threw in here. It's not even done in a way where, all right, no problem, DMing on Instagram. That sounds good. Some of them were never released on their own as a set, at least in the United States, as far as I know. There were some that were like exclusively packaged, or at least database exclusively packaged for those values, which almost feels cheap to me, because it gives this mentality, and this is a thing that I grew up with, and I remember my parents pushing, like, whenever I had birthday money or whatever, and I'd be able to go to Toys R Us or something to buy a LEGO set, or KB Toys to buy a LEGO set. This was a value that they pushed on me. You have this amount of money, and you could get either one really big thing, but that's just one thing, and you're only going to play with that so many times as the one big thing, or you get a whole bunch of small things that add up to that sum. And with that logic, you're getting more things to build at the same time to play with and be able to play in different ways with, which, it sounds good. And that's definitely the mentality that LEGO carried with those value packs. It's like, okay, it may look like a bunch of small things, but it's a bunch of small things at a low cost, and therefore you're getting a bunch of, like, instead of one big car to play with, you get a bunch of small cars and maybe, more figures or something like that. And this is a mentality that I've carried for a long time, when it came to buying stuff was like, do I get the one that has one pack with a whole bunch of stuff in it? You know, that otherwise would have been separate, or not so valuable on its own. Or do I just get the one big thing? You know. Hopefully this makes some sense. I have definitely learned over time, it's good to splurge. There are definitely some times where you want to go for the big ticket item, you can afford it, go for it. Just go straight for it. Because sometimes that offers things that the other smaller things don't have available. Whether it's certain parts, certain figures, play features. Because it's a bigger model, you might be able to get more things out of it than if it was a small one. I mean, yeah, for a good example of this, last night, actually, this just happened, as of recording this live stream. For a long time, I was like, I definitely want to get the actually, no, this example doesn't work here, sorry. But I'm trying to think of an example where it does work. I don't remember the last time I got a value pack for Lego. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm kind of lost for a moment. Okay, then. So this is our fancy pantsy trigger. Oops. Wait. Oops. Yeah, that was the wrong spot. Speaking of Lego sets and putting things away into categories, I have a whole bunch of Arctic stuff in this room. I gotta dish out. I've broken up a whole bunch of them, and now I need to put them away in one bigger box. It's actually one or two I haven't built in the backlog yet that I'm tempted to build soon, so that way I can use that box and consolidate them. Like take out all of those packaging, the instructions, and fit them closer to each other. The one I have doesn't look too valuable, but who knows together. That's true. That could definitely happen. Let's see. Oh, so this one does it on top. Because I was so used to many of them that have it on the trigger, that it pulls up or pulls back or something to fire it. This one, you have to press on the scope to launch. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. I was about to say, and it's gone. Nope, we're all good. Saved it. But there's no way to holster it. Kind of a point of contention, but it's not too bad because it doesn't look bad next to her or any of the rest of them. And considering the fact that she does have other weapons on her, those like batons that are on the back that are swinging back and forth, you can use those. I kind of thought, oh, that would be nice if you could add this onto something. But nope, doesn't seem to be the case. Wait, what's this used? Where did I don't remember using this piece. Oh, on the blaster. Right on the end of it. That makes sense. But looks proper. Kind of feels like too contrasting here. Like this only down is black. This only up is dark gray. And granted, that's probably movie accurate. I'm kind of seeing that with like how everything else is supposed to be shaped around it. But it doesn't really bring it together. It doesn't really put the two like this is a drapery and this is, just whatever pants she's using. Because of the nature of the pieces. Because of the nature that they're big shell pieces. If I've been back and forth wishy-washy on this, then you know that you're in the I'm doing. I definitely. You're right. I'm testing how the friction is on the gear because there's a gear on the back that was added on for friction, and so far working well. I'm definitely gonna be weighted with the blaster here. That at some point it's just going to give way to this thing, or not. Wow. Okay, there we go. Now it's at the point. If I bent the arm a little bit, it probably would have worked better somewhere in between that. Like, try to have it, like, bolstered to her shoulder or something like that. Maybe a little space underneath to try and hold it. That's another thing. Some of them... It's okay. Kind of gets that impression. There's one or two of them that definitely has, like, a handle piece or something underneath, or you can hold it in both arms, which I thought was really cool. This could use it, but still pretty respectable for what it is. Tap a tap. So there we have all three of them built from the backlog, and no more that I know of until I pick up ones I don't have. I don't actually have any of the Rogue One sets other than the buildable figures. Go figure. Eventually, I would like to get the Rogue One Y-Wing. I have actually built that one before at a convention, and I didn't win it as a prize or anything, but it was just kind of helping out a fellow vendor. I built that before, and it was actually really cool. I mean, I haven't built a lot of Y-Wings, granted, but compared to the 2007 one that I last built, it was a big improvement. And I love the sand blue that's added in there. Like, and Rogue One is so close to episode 4, basically a half episode from it, that it was, you know, it fits appropriately. Like, in the universe of it. Like, I would, yeah, I like that. That'd be quite a video to do. My my Lego Star Wars wanted list, just Star Wars related. Well, the first thing would be completing whatever Star Wars sets I have and haven't built yet. 2 Lego Star Wars sets that are used that I got through eBay are sitting in the backlog. Well, one from eBay, one had a long story behind it, but not from eBay. It was a raffle prize, but there's a longer story to it. One of them, the eBay one, has already been inspected. Actually, they've both been inspected for what parts are missing. I just haven't gone back through for them. But it's a motorized AT-AT. And and there are plenty of Star Wars vehicles that I don't care which version it is. If it's some year, but still based on the original trilogy, it doesn't really matter to me. Which one. As long as I have an X-Wing, a Naboo Starfighter, an AT-AT, it's fine by me. But this one I definitely liked it being motorized and having power functions. It's the only one I think it does, right out the gate. So I was excited for that. And at some point, I'm going to be happy roaming that thing around. Can't really put it on a shelf, though, moving, but at least having it in a walking pose, that would be really sweet. I have 2 ATSTs, I think in the same year, because I forgot that I had a first one, or no, I remembered I had a first one, but I didn't have it built, and the second one was like nearly complete, and dirt cheap, so I was like, yeah, let's go with that. Defroster 5289, welcome to the stream. TMNT wouldn't look too bad as buildable figures. I agree, and that would actually work really well with the mutants in TMNT. I mean, there's a lot of mutants for it, yes, to be sure, but I mean the ones like Baxter Stockman. If you have him in like the fly version of him, where it has multiple arms, that would be sweet. You have someone like a Dog Pound that's like more bulky, you could use a bigger torso piece. That would be really cool. Man, now I want that. Except I'm actually curious if they would, like, if that was an option, if that was on the table, could they do it? Because there's a lot of green pieces that they would need to make for Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Leonardo. And green has not always been the most popular. I mean, it was not that it wasn't popular color. It hasn't been used a lot up to this point in CCBS for limbs, like crucial skeletal limb pieces. With figures like those, you need to really cover up what's black and what's gray, or need to make them green. I would love it if they made them green because it means the whole figure would be like put together and one feel too robotic. In a series where there are actually robots, oh my god, the Krang would be great, dude. I would love that. I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a franchise, and I love them as the Lego theme based on Nickelodeon, and I partially love the movie ones, only because of the vehicles, not because of the characters. So you've definitely sent me on a whirlwind that I am 100% behind. It's crazy how much the 2007 motorized AT-AT goes for now. Glad to have it in my collection. Really? I mean, maybe it's because I found one that was used and incomplete. I didn't realize it went that much. Or that it would be a higher price item. I'm actually looking off to the side right now at a Star Wars collage poster. Poorly hung on the wall, but still visible. I can still recognize everything here. There's so many characters they could have done with some effort. You know, probably not even changing a lot of stuff. You already have Rey in Jakku outfit. You could have made a Tusken Raider. You know, a lot of those same colors and same styles of pieces could work into a Tusken Raider model. Just put it at a different year of release. I'm sure it's probably like a testing the waters kind of thing. And then when it didn't pan out, they're just like, you know what? We can't go out into these extravagant, things anymore, and then just canned it. It's kind of a shame. Legends of Chima was a weird one, and weird in the fact that it came and went almost immediately. It had like 2 waves of figures, not a lot per wave if I remember correctly, like 4, maybe 5 figures. And granted, Star Wars Buildable figures don't have much more than that, but they've had more length to them, probably because of the branding. They've existed for a couple of years and a couple different figures between the new movies and the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. Whether or not corners were cut or slimmed down. Yeah. Now that I think about it, C-3PO would be great for this. We talked about him before when Titanium J was on here. C-3PO would have been a great buildable figure to go with these, but the problem is you'd have to make an R2 at the same time. People would buy a pair of them, and making R2 and CCBS wouldn't require most of this humanoid frame. He would be a much more Technic build, and not that it's impossible. I mean, they made a speeder bike, but it might be a little more tricky. Dude, if they made a oh my god, that would be amazing. If they made a Snowtrooper and had a speeder bike with that would be great. We talked about before having Anakin from episode 2 and making his version of a speeder bike a bit different. I've seen it go for 300 plus. Wow, that's crazy. The one I have, I don't think even has figures with it, which doesn't concern me. The weird thing about Star Wars as a Lego theme, from a collecting standpoint, from my personal opinion, having been there from the start, it doesn't make a big difference for me with a lot of variants. I mean, there may be some that I favor a little better, or some building techniques that just look smoother and feel nicer, but in general, it's still the same ship. And in canon, you could have ships in slightly variant forms. I have like 3 or 4 different years of Snowtroopers just from different times I've picked them up, and I thought one design looked cool at some point, some other point. But as a rebel fleet, they're guerrilla. They have some uniformity, but they're still going to have differences among them. Even most famously with the X-Wing, you have a red leader, you have a gold leader. Their vehicles reflect that. They have some X-Wings where you customize them. You take different parts to make it for one pilot versus another. So yeah, that that's what's funny for me. It's like, you know, some of them I'll be more specific about, but it doesn't matter across the board. It's not like I need the Rolls Royce of every Star Wars vehicle in the best design, in the best minifigure version. You know, minifigure versions also go the same way. Yeah, some of them I think have improved over time, but you know, Anakin from Tatooine, or not Anakin, Luke from Tatooine is at some point always going to look the same to me. They're, you know, they're only going to make minimal changes between them that it's not going to be like I need to get that one now. You know, so that is kind of interesting on its own. The way I've been collecting with them, just to see like if there's changes in design, if there's changes between sagas, and which I prefer. Yeah. Trying to think. I have like here's a good example. I have sometimes it actually works together. Like I said before about the fleet, you know, like a rebel fleet. Here's one example where it works really good together, and I've done more recently. I have 2 copies of Mos Eisley Cantina from 2 different years. One of them is the elongated 4-room version, where it's all one floor. It's has, you know, everybody. It's a incomplete model though. It has some parts missing. It doesn't have all the figures. It doesn't have the jazz band, unfortunately, but that's fine because what's there I can still work with. And then I had the one that more recently came out a year or 2 ago, where it just has Han, Greedo, the bartender, I forget his name, and that's about it. So, and just like one ship to go along with Greedo or something like that outside of the cantina. It's like fundamentally they're both doing the same things. They're still showing the same scenes in different ways, one more economized than the other, but I compare those 2 together and make it as if it was part of one big cantina. There are definitely more than one room of these little, you know, segmented dining areas. I could just carry it all the way around. I have like 3 or 4 different versions of Luke's Landspeeder, one of them from the Mos Eisley set. I think I got one accidentally on its own at one point, like from the same set. I have the original 99 version, and I have the most recent one that came out this year. I don't think I built that yet though. And I do recognize there are differences between them that make one better than the other, and I definitely think that a lot has changed since the 99. You know, in 20 years of LEGO designs and colorations and accuracies, the newer ones definitely look better. But who's to say there can't be multiple of that model, that style of Landspeeder on Tatooine or on any other planet? Could work. I have 2 different desert skiffs, different years. And one of them, funny enough, one of them includes Han and Chewie, and the other one includes Luke Skywalker. So they perfectly match up with each other, even though they're different designs, but they perfectly match up in the same scene. So that's, you know, I think one, I forget which one, maybe the Luke one has Boba Fett with him? I forget. There are 2 different Sarlacc pits, because they each came with one, and I don't remember if I did a video, but I've pro-conned them before in my head, and I'm like, whichever one feels better with everything else involved. Putting the 2 isolated, I don't know how much it does for me. I think they need to remake the Jango's Slave 1. There's only been one made back in 2002. I agree. We've had Slave 1 based on Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi so many times that it's almost exhausting. I mean, I've literally seen ones that as one went out, another came in. Around 2018 or so, when we had a UCS one that was leaving, and we had a smaller but still kind of minifig compatible version used in Cloud City. What gives? So I think in general, Lego Star Wars has like an odd balance problem. Nostalgia plays a big role with my collecting. That's why I figure the older Star Wars sets. I mean, yeah, I nostalgia definitely plays for me too a bit, where I'll favor some of the older ones, especially when it comes to the original trilogy. I love those. No, not late at all. We're just, I mean, I already finished building all three figures, yes, but now we're just chilling for a little bit before my throat gives out. The the nostalgia doesn't always play into the designs, um, as it does with the models or like the continuity. You know, I love the original trilogy. I like I like all the trilogies in different amounts. But I've ranked the 9 Star Wars movies before, and two of them were all three of them in the original trilogy actually were in the top half of the list. And it probably is out of nostalgia and something that's just like the other hard part is not only nostalgia but also rewatchability. You know, you're always going to favor the thing that you're more comfortable with, that you're more used to, and whether or not it's a first impression, you've probably watched the original trilogy more often than the sequel trilogy, more often than movies with these characters, you know? So, Anakin, welcome to the stream, and doing all right today. Got a little bit progress here and there between things. Um, got a few more Lego themes ready to pack up and store away for now. I got a few more videos that are underway as well. More adventurers coming this week, and then I'm gonna try to do other stuff beyond that. And yeah, not too bad here. I forgot where I was going before that. Yeah. So Django Slave 1 is something that I think really need the Lego seems to have this problem, and I don't know if it's Star Wars influence more than Lego. Like, oh, if they're a partner, then they have more say on the products. I have no idea how that works, but it kind of makes sense. It's like, okay, you're not just using our brand and our iconography and our designs of these characters, you're also weighing in what we want to sell, what we want to, you know, promote between them. However it works out, Lego seems to have this problem for a long time of balancing between Star Wars. There's 9 movies now, and 11 if you count Solo and Rogue One, and even more than that over time. Maybe not as much nowadays, but over time, you've also had the Clone Wars TV show, so that's 12. You've had various extended universe stuff, and that's the best way I can group them because you have things that are just kind of like one-offs, not enough for not enough for its own wave, but they're out there. So that's 13 different facets. You have the Yoda Chronicles, 14. You have Rebels, 15. You have Resistance, 16. There's probably another one or two that I didn't mention. I'm sure it's close to 20. Yeah, no problem, Anakin. Thanks for hopping in for a little bit. There's probably close to 20 Star Wars, like, storylines that you can build Lego sets from. I know this has been done before on Brickset. They actually have run some articles before where somebody actually broke down different broke down different movies as they're recreated in Lego set form, and determining how much of the movie is created from Lego, like how many parts of it, how many characters, what scenes are available in Lego form, just naturally. And it's actually a really cool idea. I don't remember exactly what the numbers were on any of those. I'd love to read that again though. But just saying that the fact that it's out there and that I think it's a cool article that there's like actually a couple articles on it. There's probably ones based on the Lego movies as well. But yeah, to even break it down to that point and realize that there are still things that have been untapped or rarely made. Like there's a whole bunch of Episode 2 Geonosian stuff that's appeared twice or 3 times at best. You have Hellfire droids. You have the Geonosian droids themselves. You have Republic gunships. You have spider droids and like the giant Corporate Alliance tank droids. You have you have the Geonosian cannons. You have the Geonosian I don't know what they're called. Some kind of spaceships. It's like the really long one, like kind of like a needle. Some of those, as each model has been made twice in 20 years of Lego Star Wars. That said, with all those other Star Wars things going around, twice is the best chance they could get. And there's definitely some things that will pander more to people out of iconography, when it comes to just certain scenes, they'll be made multiple times. Technically, there's only been 2 or 3 sets based on the Death Star Final Duel. You're talking about 2 of them were released around 2001, 2002. They're really small. Like, they sit on a 6x4 or 6x8 base plate at best. That's small. 2 of those, independently sold, you can group them together, make a scene. That's cool. The next official set for that alone wasn't until the Death Star Final Battle or Final Duel or whatever, which became a $60 set. Yeah, it's a big hype up, but it's gorgeous. It's a complete scene. It has all the different aspects of the fight going on in one jam-packed set. It's really good. It's one of my favorite Lego Star Wars sets of all time. But they have made other ones in between. They just kind of integrated with other stuff. So, like, both times they made the Death Star as a playable dollhouse-like set. That scene is in there in a reduced fashion, but it still exists as a thing that you can use. Even the Death Star itself is just a compilation of all different scenes that may or may not have been made separately. You have, things that could be validated for a battle pack that would be its own scene. Like there's a Death Star Trooper battle pack or something, has a giant cannon on it. That's basically in the bigger set. You have a set that recently came out with Obi-Wan shutting off the power or whatever. That was in the Death Star. But now it's a $30 set on its own. Yeah. I don't think they would do something to the point of like making the trash compactor as a separate scene. I don't know. Would they really break it up that much? I don't know. I can't expect that. I wouldn't imagine that. Are they gonna make the conference room its own scene? I don't think so. But Star Wars has so much going on for just the films alone. For one trilogy of the films alone. That set possibilities are numerous and yet slighted. They're not properly balanced. It would be great if they did work on things. I know that they've had that in waves. Sometimes they would have, here's a whole bunch of episode 2 sets. Here's a whole bunch of episode 3 sets. That's fantastic. I would love if they did that more often. Especially now when they don't have any more films to greatly base off of. There's already all the films out there, and then there's just a matter of recreating them in a better fashion than before. I could totally see in some cases where it's like, well, can we really do better than that? Did The Last Jedi Interceptor really need to be remade? And you don't have to have every color of it, but you still got enough of a style that you could try to, I don't know. For me, one of my favorite things that I would love to see remade is the TIE Interceptor in minifig scale. Not a UCS model of it. We've had a UCS model of it since basically day one, year one, almost. And it looked pretty good. But over time, I don't know what it is with Star Wars as a franchise, just for any toy brand. They've changed it over time where they don't add blue like they first added a lot of blue into the models for, I guess, kid play. Maybe it was a military thing. I don't know. But anyways, they've gone away from that for a while, and already Lego itself has remade gray models of those TIE fleet like multiple times. Meanwhile, there's other ones that haven't been upgraded to that form, and could be. It's a petition I've put out there for a really while. And then it just kind of re-sparked after the 501st Battle Pack and other campaigns, picked up ground. But that would be kind of cool. I'm even looking at the TIE Interceptor right now on the collage poster that I was saying before. It has everyone from 1 to 6, or at least there's a lot of characters on there. I don't know if it has everyone, but definitely has a lot. Like major and some minor characters on this poster. And it's gorgeous. It's got a lot of vehicles in the background. But one of the things that I notice is that the TIE Interceptor, just chilling, it's out there. I don't even know if the TIE Fighter is on there. I don't see it. Oh, it's way up in the corner. That's surprising. That the more iconic one is just hanging out in the, it's actually cut off of the poster, just by the way they've created it, and a little bit more in the dark, because there's a lot of like pizzazz and firework kind of thing in the middle of it, giving a lot more light. You could see the TIE Interceptor much more clearly than the TIE Fighter. And the TIE Interceptor, for me, honestly looks much better. Maybe it's because I've been so used to the TIE Fighter so long, but I love the look of the TIE Interceptor. I love how it's sleek. I love how the wings are more curved in. It's almost like they knew what, like in universe, they knew what flaws there were in the original one and improved upon it, not just for style and intimidation points, but for ease of use, like for flying it. I gotta imagine it's much more difficult to fly something with the wings more outward like that with the TIE Interceptor or the TIE Fighter, rather than the TIE Interceptor where it's a lot more, wedged in. They're a lot more closer compacted. Like the TIE Bomber does that too. There's probably a bunch of them actually. There's one I keep remembering, but I also keep forgetting, that was from one of the games. The Star Wars Rogue Squadron Rebel Strike, I think it was. It basically, it was like a TIE Hunter, or something like something similar to a TIE Hunter, I think. And it looked really cool, but I don't know if it was in any other continuity. I don't think it was in any of the films. Didn't get that far. But I kind of want to, if there isn't a Lego model for it, I'd try to mock it. If I really passionately wanted it, I probably should just build it myself and get people's interest. Sometimes that drives things up. I've definitely seen people in the time of the 501st Battle Pack where they made it themselves. They built their own models of it. They did renders of it. It was it's a cool idea. So my throat is dry, and I'm moving on. Thank you for watching this live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed all the Star Wars discussion throughout. If you have anything else you want to let me know about, social media is available at Maniac for Bricks on Twitter, Maniac for Bricks official on Instagram, Maniac for Bricks on Facebook, YouTube, all the other places. I think we're all. I think we've wrapped up everything. I could probably go on forever. Not that I know a lot about Star Wars, I could go on forever, but just pondering of what could be. So, Fall Collector, thank you for joining. 8807 YT, thanks for joining earlier. We had Ezra Nightshade early in the stream, as well as Titanium J52. And for some amount of time, I saw in here before Defroster 5289. Good to have you here as well. Good little roll call at the end there. I always like doing that because I do appreciate you guys taking time and watching the stream, or just having it as something in the background to listen to while working on other stuff. Now, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go work on some stuff and listen to something else or someone else in the background. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks for joining for this sneak peek, because for most of y'all who are in this stream, this was a sneak peek. I have the video for it coming way in advance on just getting the figure. So yeah, it's cool. All right, have a good night, everyone. Take care, stay safe, keep clean, all the usual stuff, and keep on building. I don't really have a proper Lego outro other than we'll see you next time with more Lego videos. Like, what do I say here? Talk to you later.